Unfiltered. Here I discuss news, politics, and whatever else I find interesting, along with my very colorful, unfiltered commentary. If you would like to follow me on social media, I am on X at Eric Not Sorry, and on Truth or Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I hope you enjoy. Now let's get on with the show. How is everyone doing today? I hope you are doing well. As for myself, I am caffeinated, medicated, and never regulated, so let's freaking go! If you have not been living under a rock over the last dozen years, you will notice that politically in the United States, and I'm sure elsewhere, there is a much greater divide politically. Now, this is not going to be a political show. I'm not going to be reading an article today. I'm going to talk about a documentary that I have seen. It's been out for a few years, but I finally got around to it. And I honestly did not learn a whole lot newer things from it. A couple of things. But I highly recommend it. And I believe it was on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, look up The Social Dilemma. The Social Dilemma. What they speak about, there are individuals that used to or still currently do, but many of them worked for some of the big social media companies, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and so on. And they talk about the biggest thing that is the biggest threat, at least in their opinion, is the algorithms. That's right. I am sure that you have heard about the algorithms before. Whenever you're on X or Facebook or YouTube or what have you. And through, like I said, the last dozen years or so, politically we just keep getting farther and farther and farther apart. Again, I highly recommend it. Go watch it. And this is not a conservative, liberal thing. Go and watch it, because most of all of you are being lied to. You are. Politically, there are insane people on the extreme right and the extreme left. However, if you turned off your phone and went outside, the vast majority of people that are that insane is not everybody. Yeah, people have a different view from the left side and the right side, depending on the topic and blah, blah, blah. But the algorithms are polarizing all of us way more than we ordinarily would be polarized. I know Tim Pool has spoken on this several times through the years. I'm not going to quote the guy. I don't remember what he said to a T. But essentially, okay, let's roll the clock back to early Facebook, like the MySpace days, when videos were posted. Let's say there was a video of a police officer showing up to a noise complaint, and it was kids playing basketball outside. And the cop was like, hey, I'll play some one-on-one with you guys. The officer didn't care. It was like, yeah, okay, so whatever, you're staying out of trouble and you're playing basketball, let's play some basketball. And then there was a video right next to it of, let's say, a police officer that got a little too rough during a traffic stop or during an arrest. And I don't say that in a sarcastic way. I mean literally a little bit too rough, right? Well, guess what video got more views? Well, it wasn't the friendly neighborhood police officer. It was people commenting their outrage of how the other video, this police officer, was violating their rights or whatever. Well, the algorithms, which are so much more militant now, but back then they would be like, oh, okay, people don't like this video as much, so stop showing that as much, but highlight this one. And then the algorithms or certain websites would put up more videos like, oh, well, people were outraged about this. I can get more views if I put something a little more outrageous and a little more emotional reaction stuff. And now What videos get the most amount of views? The police officer being friendly to the neighborhood children, or the one that drags somebody out of the car and pistol whips them? Obviously, we all know. We all know. As you scroll through anything, whether it's a post or a video, the algorithm is watching you. Not specifically, not necessarily through your camera, but as soon as a video pops up and it auto plays, it is calculating how long you're watching that video or how long that video is just on your screen. And if you just keep scrolling, that algorithm will be like, oh, less of that and more of this. Well, let's see if they like this. And if you start doom scrolling, it will start feeding you more and more and more. And nowadays, it is pushing such polarizing crap. Why do you think you see so much outrageous stuff in your feeds on social media? Why? Just recently, even before I saw this documentary, I knew about all of this. I knew this. And I went onto my X account and I did a test. And I knew how it was going to end up. I knew ahead of time because I knew all this. On X, in case you are unaware, there's two columns. One that's like recommended for you. So if you click, we'll stick with sports. So let's say you're a Yankee fan and you click, you want to follow the New York Yankees and you want to follow, one of the local sports stuff. That's what you'll see. And the recommended will be baseball related or former Yankee players related and so on and so forth. Or you can stick to this other column that is just who you're following. So the only things that would come up would be posts from the Yankees organization or a player and so on. You get my point. So I knew. Now, I'm not a Yankee fan, by the way. Go Sox, even though they're having a rough year. Anyways, but I knew about all of this algorithm bullshit. So I went on to X and other social medias, and I scrolled through, and I'm watching people that I follow posting stuff about the stabbing in Texas where a high school student, a black high school student, stabbed and killed a white high school student at a track meet. I am sure most of you have heard this story. Now, as I'm scrolling through, I'm watching the people I follow, and yes, most of them were posting just the story. Like, this is tragic, and then there's the link to the post, to the article. Or, I can't believe this happened. How did a student get a knife? It was all just normal stuff like that. And I did a test. As I kept scrolling, I saw someone that was posting something, let's just say, kind of racist. Okay? Just kind of racist. Yeah. I purposely, now I don't follow this person. They just showed up in the feed. I purposely did not click on their post. I did not click the like button, nothing. I just left it on my screen for about 10 seconds. Probably did. I know I didn't have to do it that long, but I did. And then I closed the app. And then immediately, I'm not talking like put it down, took a piss. No, I closed the app and then opened it. Just boop, boop, done. Immediately on my feed, more and more videos of, well, I'm just going to say what they, it was videos of black people being violent. Okay, that's what it was. I'm not saying that black people are inherently violent. I'm just saying these were the videos that were shown. And I laughed because I knew that is what was going to happen. All because on my feed, on my screen, on my phone, I left a post up that was making that assertion. and I left it on my phone, and I closed the app and opened it, and boom, my whole feed I still had the people I followed and the other stuff and sports stuff and gun stuff and blah blah blah. But every fourth or fifth post was some video making, the racist comment of, black people are violent, with an associated video. And I laughed because I knew that's what was going to happen. So if you are a young person or just any person out there that already has that kind of view, it just reinforces that view. And, of course, on the other side, if you think white people are violent or white people are always violating black people's rights or whatever the case may be, if you watch one video for a few seconds, literally seconds, and you close your app and you open it back up, you are now inundated with more and more videos or posts or comments that enforces and reinforces that view. And then, we wonder why we are so politically divided. Even in that documentary, The Social Dilemma, they spoke about that. How, yes, there's always been a political... Speaking is hard. There has always been a political divide in America on, pick a subject, right? There's always somebody that is left or right, or Republican, whatever. But overwhelmingly, most of the time through history, it was not so far apart as it is now. As I've said in the past, there's like 10% of the crazies on the far right, 10% of the crazies on the far left. Okay, they're just crazies. That leaves 80% of the rest of us that, okay, may lean red or lean blue, but a lot of us are purple, depending on the topic. But again, through the years with social media and the algorithms and how the algorithms are learning and so on and so forth, the algorithms are having these apps, and whether it's YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, it feeds you more and more and more of what you like. And it doesn't matter what political side it is. It could be, like I said, it could be sports related. If you go online and you're trying to look up, people that cheated in sports, you will be inundated with more and more and more videos of, let's say you want to say what athletes have cheated in baseball or have been accused of steroids in baseball. You will get videos and articles about that. But if you continue clicking more, then it's going to feed you steroids in bicycle racing or steroids in hockey. And you're just going to go down that fucking rabbit hole. That's what happens. Because these algorithms and these apps, they want your eyeballs on the screen because that's how they make money from advertising. Don't take my word for it. Go watch the documentary. Again, when I watched it, most of it I already knew. But a lot of people don't know this. And they think that the whole country's gone crazy. And yes, it has. Yeah, it has. I talk about it. It has. But it's not that completely off the rails everywhere. There's pockets of it. There is. But these algorithms purposely feed your fear, your anger, your emotions for ad revenue. They want to separate us, not on purpose, but if it works and it's bringing in the money, fuck it. They don't care. They don't care that you no longer speak to certain family members. They don't care about that. You watch the video for 7 seconds, well, they just earned $2.17. They don't care about that. They want the money. Okay? Okay, so be aware of that shit. But like I said, watch that documentary and you will learn. You will learn that you're being lied to. Kinda. Again, some of the stuff you see, it's real. But nowadays with AI, is it? Is it? How many times have you fallen for a meme? I know I have. We all have. And if you said you've never fallen for a meme that was a lie, it was false, you're a liar. We have all fallen for a message on a meme that wasn't true because it stokes you to keep clicking. It makes you keep clicking. It stokes your fears, your anger, your rage, your outrage. That's what it does. And it divides us. I'll give you a quick story, kind of a air quotes perfect example. There's someone I know who is a lesbian. Oh no. So what? I don't care. She's cool. When she got a job in the manufacturing industry. We've had conversations about this. When she got her job, she knew she was going to be pretty much outnumbered by men. And odds are, the vast majority of men who work in manufacturing, pick an industry, folks, pick one, the vast majority of the men are conservatives. And through our conversations, what I got from her was when she first started her job in the industry, she had her defenses up. She was expecting to be called names, mocked, ridiculed, simply because she's gay. And to her surprise, that didn't happen. Oh, I am sure maybe she noticed somebody whispering and looking in her direction. I'm sure it happened. But she was pleasantly surprised and happy that she wasn't ridiculed and name-called and insulted simply because she's gay. And again, through our conversations, I was like, well, why would you think that? And it went right back to she saw it on the internet. And, friends have had bad experiences. And, of course, you support your friends. But between hearing the experiences of her friends, videos she has seen on the internet, comments she has read, so on and so forth, she just assumed that the vast majority of men who are conservative, who work in industry, are anti-gay. That they will want to do bad things or say bad things to her. And she was pleasantly surprised when she realized she was wrong. And I thought that was kind of awesome. Not only because, one, people weren't doing that to her, which is awesome, and two, that she realized it. She realized it was bullshit. She realized that she was on a certain level being lied to and misled. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was good. And this was years ago, actually, before this Social Dilemma documentary came out. I know Joe Rogan has talked about it before and others, but I finally got around to watching it because I have a lot of fucking free time right now. So it was, like I said, it was interesting. I personally didn't learn a whole lot about it. But yeah, and they talk about the addiction of constantly wanting to look at your phone and so on and so forth. It's a problem, folks. It's a problem. This shit's rewiring our brains. And that's not a conspiracy theory. This shit is real. It's real. So put the phones down, go outside and touch grass. Go spend some time riding a bike, have a picnic with your kids. Go outside, turn the phone off. Okay? It'll help your brain. It'll help your mood. It really will. It'll help your mood. But again, check out The Social Dilemma. It was very interesting. You may learn something about the internet and your own habits and how, I can put my phone down anytime. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. You're a liar. You're a liar. You think it's easy, but it's not. It's not. You can turn your notifications off. That would be helpful. They recommend that at the end of the film. But check it out. I believe, like I said, I think it's on Netflix. The Social Dilemma. Check it out. We are not as divided as you are being led to believe. You are not hated and despised as much as you are being led to believe. You are being lied to. Okay? You're being lied to. We're all being lied to in the name of advertisement revenue. That's all it's about. It's all the old saying, people, follow the money. It's an old phrase, but it is still true to this day. Okay? Okay. I may not like all of you, but I love all of you. And thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode, please, give it a like, share, shit. You know what to do. And until next time, keep being you.